Good morning, everyone. Tossing the intro. I know it's less than a week. It is actually a week today, but we're tossing the intro. It's long. I'm getting a little sick of it. I don't know. We're going to be here every day. It's a lot to remember to say every day. We are going to do our cozy check in, though. So, are you comfortable? Am I comfortable? I'm going to get settled in, snuggling up. We're gonna take a deeper breath together. Sorry, my voice is croaky. I haven't talked out loud that much today. But we're gonna do a deep inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth in a sigh. So whenever you're ready. I kind of needed that. Okay, zero tension. Can you relax your shoulders and clench your jaw? Relax your forehead. Maybe soften your gaze. Relax your spine, your tummy. Let go of all the tension in your body. Just relax. And then we have you time. Is there anything that you need right now? Do you want to make a hot drink? Do you want to put your phone on Do Not Disturb? Put on some headphones? Anything. And then we can get started. Hi, I'm Fleur if you're new here, and welcome to 24 Days of Comfort. I'm just here chatting with you every day for 24 days about various topics and doing your classic YouTuber video things, mostly sit-down style. I can't be bothered to make a vlog every day and upload that, and I don't know, I don't want to show people where I live that much or risk showing my family. Like, it's a lot to keep all that in mind every day. So I'm not doing it, but I wanted to kind of do slow vlogmas, so here we are. Every day we're going to try a puka tea calendar tea, but yesterday I had a day 7 tea and I skipped day 6. It was something like that. Either way, I'm just having a mint tea right now. It's not from the puka calendar. But yeah, how have you been doing? How are you feeling? It's a Sunday. Are we chill? Are we doing a reset? Are you working? I'm kind of recovering from a migraine. I had a migraine all of yesterday, and then in the middle of the night it restarted, which was great. I always get ocular migraines, so first I start to see a bunch of weird shit and I get really dizzy and everything, and that happened in the middle of the night as well. So can't say I'm doing phenomenal, but I'm finally feeling a little bit better today, which is lovely and very welcome. I did tidy up a tiny little bit, but mostly I've just been relaxing today. And yesterday I just spent a lot of time in the dark pretty much all day. I think I saw daylight for 15 minutes, so this is pretty great. And I've just been thinking a lot, and I made that video about coping with consumerism, and I watched a video today from a creator talking about the emotional effects on consumerism. I'll link it in the description box. I really like her videos. And it just got me thinking about living your life at your own pace. This is something that I've talked a lot about on my ASMR channel, and that isn't a new topic on this channel either, with all the health stuff that has been going on. But I do feel like it's still good to talk about and to reflect on, and I just wanted to share some thoughts on that. We're gonna really just take it as it comes, so I didn't prepare anything, so it's gonna be rambly, but I would love to hear your thoughts afterwards in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so, but you can wait till the end and reevaluate if you want to subscribe. But yeah, living at your own pace and doing your own thing and not putting yourself in a box and not comparing yourself too much to other people. These are all things that I think about regularly. I think that is mainly because I have a lot of health issues and my life looks very different than what I thought it would look like now. And there are a lot of things that I can't do because of health, and there are a lot of things that I would want to do. And I think that this is a very common thing in general in our age, to want to do a lot of things, to discover everything, to have yourself figured out. Amanda also touches on that in her video, so I really recommend watching that to have a little bit more of in-depth thoughts on that. I really agree with a lot of what she's saying, so thanks for, putting words to my thoughts, Amanda. But yeah, my life looked a lot different than what I thought it would look like, and is still looking very different. Sometimes I feel a little bit stuck, like I'm in a liminal place because I had lived away and I moved back, and I'm, in a town that I don't love, and my job is weird for a lot of people, and I'm building it up. If you don't know, and this is the first video you're watching, I have an ASMR channel that is kind of my main job, and then I work part-time as a youth worker because I do have a bachelor's degree in social work, and I like those things, but sometimes it feels a little bit chaotic because I'm figuring a lot of things out, and neither of the things that I'm doing right now feel like a really, really long-term thing. It's definitely not things that I see myself quitting in the near future, but it's not something that I also see myself doing in 50 years, if you know what I mean. I don't think I'm ever going to be someone who has one thing that they want to do for 50 years. I've always had many different jobs. I always have many different hobbies. I'm a creative person. I like to follow my gut and move around. I'm an Aquarius, if you're into astrology. But sometimes that can be really overwhelming, especially if there are a lot of people around you in your surroundings who study to do one thing, go do that one thing, and, keep doing that thing for years and years and years. And following your own path can be a little difficult sometimes, I find. I find that it takes a lot of standing your ground, expressing your boundaries, and also a level of confidence, maybe. Which sometimes I have, sometimes I don't. It's a chaotic experience. Working as a content creator isn't something that is uncommon nowadays. I think it's still frowned upon and not taken seriously in a lot of ways, but I make ASMR videos, I help people sleep and relax, but I whisper into a microphone and I put that on the internet. And a lot of people, 99% of the people, are so supportive of that and excited for me and just love it and are proud of me for how I'm doing all of it. But there are also people who find it weird, who sexualize it, who make fun of me for it. Even here in my small ass town, there are people who I haven't spoken to in years and who I know watch my videos and send them around to their friends, and then they will come up to me at some party, and a while ago, after 5 years of seeing someone, they immediately started with a lame joke about something that I had apparently done or said in a YouTube video. Now, I don't mind because I put myself on the internet, so I know that these people could watch it and, thanks for the views. But it's not fun. And it's not fun to not be taken seriously. It's not fun to not be respected, of course, because it wasn't a compliment. It was just a weird joke. And those things can hurt because I'm a person, and when another person says something to your face that is weird, of course that sucks. That hurts. I did nothing to deserve that, I think. If I did something to deserve that, you can let me know. You know who you are. But yeah, that can be really frustrating sometimes because that makes it feel like I have to really explain what I'm doing or be accountable. In het Nederlands bedoel ik mezelf verantwoorden, maar ik weet even niet het Engelse woord. That was for my Dutch friends. And I think that when I am already sometimes thinking, okay, what am I doing? Everything feels a little bit odd. I don't have a lot of people around me who are on the same path as I am. So that can feel a little bit lonely in itself. But then having someone also poke fun at you, if I have a bad day and that happens, that'll really send me into a spiral. But then if I am having a good day, I'm like, toss, I don't care. You do you. I know what I'm doing and I know what it's worth and blah, blah, blah. But that takes time, and that's life, right? Figuring those things out. So I hope that this can kind of serve as a reminder to anyone who's also found themselves going off track. The track being what you had told yourself would be the path you take, or what other people told you should be the path. There is no set path. There is no, one thing that you're gonna end up at. Life is life, and it is so broad and has so many aspects and so many things happen in life. So for me, I really try to let go of that idea of really going somewhere. It's good to have goals, it's good to have intentions, it's good to have dreams, but it can also be very limiting if you are trying to control every move and are being really strict with yourself on every step that you take if it's not leading to your goal, and you can get really stuck in the scarcity mindset of I don't have enough, I am not enough, if I had this and this, then so and so would happen. And that's a very tricky thing, and you're really not the only one if you're struggling with that. It's a very common thing. It's very sad, but it's not weird to feel that way at all, and it's very okay to feel overwhelmed by it all. It's just what I'm trying to say. So what helps me a lot is listening to other people's stories of how they live their life that aren't the stories that I've heard around me all the time. The going to college, going to do a job, do that job for 30 years, get married, have children, live in the same town, or move to some city, blah, blah, blah. Which is a great lifestyle if that's what you want and if that's available to you. And I'm not trying to talk down on anyone else's life choices or lifestyle or whatever. I'm just trying to talk from my own experience. The idea of, having moved out at a certain age and living on your own, or maybe having a partner at a certain age, or having traveled here, there, and everywhere at a certain age. It's getting ridiculous in society how much pressure there is on young people. It really, really is. Bonkers. Which is why I'm a youth worker and I love my job, because I get to tell kids to slow down and that it's okay. I just really feel inspired by people who have had a really different path to where they are at the moment, where they're sharing their story, So I highly recommend doing that if you can find people. That is the beautiful thing about the internet, I think, is that you can look that up and hear stories and learn stories from people who you might not run into. But also, I think that if you were to approach a stranger on the train, you'd be surprised by how weird people's lives are. Life is just very weird. It takes all kinds of turns, and someone can look a certain way online and you can get into a self-comparison loop. But just because they posted that online doesn't mean there aren't other things going on in their lives. I feel like there's this couple on YouTube who I think are also on TikTok and Instagram, Harry and Rosie, I think. And Rosie shares a lot about dealing with psoriasis and endo and a bunch of health stuff. And also they are a wonderful couple and they share their love, and they live in a big house and things look really beautiful, but they are very honest and raw about the other stuff that's going on. And I think that those are voices that I really enjoy seeing on the internet, because it's very honest and very uplifting, I believe, for a lot of people. So, yeah, I don't know. Can you tell that I logged onto Instagram once this week? I've been off of Instagram since June, but every few months I will log on to check DMs for business purposes, because I haven't deleted my account. And so some people don't really realize that I'm offline. And the second that I open that app, I feel insecure. I'm really glad to not be on it. Sometimes I miss it. There are pros and cons to it, of course, but the effect that it has on my mental health to see what other people are doing in their day-to-day is crazy. It really is crazy. So I just, if you are in a bit of a different place than you would have wanted to be, or that you thought you would be beforehand, but you're liking where you're at, it's all okay. Everything is going to be okay. And everyone lives such different lives. So you're not weird. You're not less valuable. You're not less worthy of love and attention and to be respected and all that good stuff. You deserve it all. And no amount of stuff that you buy or skincare that you try out or workout routines or Pilates classes or, cosmetic surgeries and whatever other pressures we, especially as women, are under in terms of beauty standards and everything. No amount of stuff is ever going to change your worth in that sense, because you know who you are, and it's about your heart, your intentions, your personality, what you give to your community, what you give to yourself, how you show up. And everyone has good days and bad days, and if you are trying, that's all that matters. And it's okay to slow down, to enjoy where you're at, even if it isn't where you really want to be at. It's okay to find moments in there where you're content. I'm really still learning that because I'm definitely at a place where I didn't really want to be. Sometimes I feel like my life is happening somewhere else and I'm not there yet, and I'm missing a lot of it. That sounds really sad, and it is, but that also has to do with my health and grieving a life that I did leave behind. And I think the main thing that I'm trying to say is that I hope you give yourself the space to feel whatever you feel and to be content with where you are and enjoy the present moment whenever you can, whenever you catch yourself, because we are so programmed to be always thinking ahead or to think back. And sometimes we miss where we are right now, and there's so much casual magic all around us every day. So yeah, takeaways from this video. Migraines are great for reflection. Stop and smell the roses. It is actually good and nice to be present. All the things people are saying about that are kind of true. And also, it is okay to be on your own path and to do things that other people might not understand. And it's okay for that to be exhausting sometimes and wanting to fit into something. But I hope that you stick to what feels good for you, no matter how other people think about it. As long as you're not really hurting other people. Then there would be another conversation we need to have. But anyway, that was that for today. I hope that you have a lovely, lovely day or night whenever you're watching. Here's a forehead kiss. And I will gladly see you tomorrow.